Okay, hello and welcome to Dead by Daylight Character Spotlights. We're going to be starting today talking about Mr. Dwight Fairfield, the very first survivor and the first survivor I ever made. So, I'm here with MrsSuperHands. Say hello, MrsSuperHands.
Hello, MrsSuperHands.
Wonderful. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the character himself, we're going to look at his backstory, look at all three of his signature perks, and then we're going to take him into a game to try and get the Adept Dwight achievement, which is where you have to escape the trial using only his unique perks. This is going to be the first in a series of Dead by Daylight character spotlights, and we're going to run through all the survivors and all the killers, so strap yourselves in for a long playlist.
Woohoo!
Woohoo indeed. Okay, so Dwight Fairfield, he's an easy character, he's a good character to start learning the game with. Now, his backstory is that Dwight was geeky and scrawny through high school. He always wanted to be one of the cool kids, but somehow never had the charisma. He tried out for the football team, but was cut. The basketball team didn't even take a look, and his grades were distinctly below average. One weekend, on a team-building exercise from his dead-end job, Dwight's boss led them deep into the woods before breaking out his family recipe moonshine. Dwight remembered taking the first sip before waking up late the next morning, all alone. During the night, the others had abandoned him. Once again, the laughingstock of the community, Dwight tried to hike his way out of the woods. And that was the last anyone ever heard of Dwight Fairfield.
People are mean.
People are mean. Sad times for Dwight. So, looking at Dwight's signature perks then. First off, we start with Bond, which unlocks the potential in one's aura reading ability. Allies' auras are revealed to you when they are within a 20-meter range. This is really useful. Allies are highlighted in yellow, you can see them through walls. It's brilliant for finding teammates, healing people up, working on generators together, knowing how to position yourself so that you can take the heat for them when the killer's going after them. It's just a generally good perk.
I think it encourages altruism at an early stage. When I first started playing, I never really made a point of going to save people very much because I was worried about getting hit by the killer. I was more a play the objective kind of player. And I think Bond is a really good way to ease yourself into supporting each other, getting those altruism points, and building up your confidence in playing the game with other people. Because ultimately, it is a team game. You're playing together. You need to work together to survive.
That's the thing, it's an asymmetric PvP for a reason. The survivors have got to stick together, because if the killer starts picking you off one by one, then you're going to very rapidly lose control of the game, lose the initiative, not finish those generators, and die. Okay, so next up we have Prove Thyself. So for every other survivor working on a generator within a 4-meter range, you get 10% repair speed bonus. And this same bonus is also applied to all the other survivors within range. And you gain 50% more blood points for co-op actions. This is without doubt one of my favourite perks. It is awesome and can be really overpowered if you're a team player. That's the thing, it buffs every other survivor within range, and the buff increases for every survivor within range. You can't be affected by more than one instance of Prove Thyself, but if you've got more people, the repair speed bonus increases per person, and everyone gets that bonus. So if you're on a 3-person generator, for example, you can smash it out so quickly.
An advantage of that as well is you don't have to be on the generator to be buffing other people. And I think that's really a really good way for you to be able to stay close to people. Sometimes you can't have more than 3 people on a generator, but encourages you to stay with them, and that way you're working together. It also means you can do things like cleanse a totem if you see one nearby, and you're still affecting the people within your range.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's only a 2-person or a 1-person Jenny, you can stand near them. What's also really cool about this perk is that it stacks with items, so if you're bringing in a toolbox to smash out Jennies really quickly because you've got repair speed add-ons or extra charges or whatever, that works as well on top of Prove Thyself. So you can really start stacking those speed buffs up and absolutely destroy the generators really fast.
It's really interesting that you make that point, actually, because they've just changed all of the add-ons, haven't they? So the toolboxes have got a lot less charges. So that would definitely have an effect on this, because you're buff to your toolbox wouldn't be for as long, but you'd still be getting a buff while you're doing your generator repairs.
The next thing that's worth mentioning, the bonus blood points. It's awesome. For a really long time before they reworked Dwight's kit, the killers had barbecue and chili, which was a massive blood points bonus post-match, and the survivors had nothing of the sort, so people would farm blood points using killers. But now people can kind of play to their strengths a little bit, play more the role that they enjoy, because they can farm extra blood points simply by doing generators and having Prove Thyself equipped. Plus, you're helping your team as well. I mean, you can very easily hit maximum objective blood points if you're just helping out teammates doing generators with this on and not even making a special effort to focus on objectives.
We've been talking a lot about using Prove Thyself to get your generators repaired, but you'll notice it says gain 50% more blood points for co-op actions. So co-op actions are where you're doing an action with others, so that can be repairing generators, but also is cooperative healing, so healing someone with somebody else will count towards co-op actions. So it's really good for getting you to work with others. It's a very strong perk, this one. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's my favourite Dwight perk.
I am a fan.
Seriously strong. Dwight's final signature perk is Leader. So you're able to organise a team to cooperate more efficiently. It increases other survivors' healing, sabotage, unhooking, cleansing, opening exit gates, and chest search speeds by 15% when they're within an 8-meter range. Survivors can only be affected by one leader effect at a time. Just like Prove Thyself, it doesn't stack with itself, so if 2 people bring leader, you only get 1 leader buff. And a good thing about leader, unlike Prove Thyself, is that this effect persists on other survivors for 15 seconds after leading the leader's effective perk range. So when you pass out of the effective range of the perk, because you're running away, you're going to do a generator, whatever, the buff will linger on the person that you walk next to.
What I really like about Leader is the fact that it's the opposite of Prove Thyself. So Leader does everything except for generators, and then Prove Thyself is for generators. So I think that's really nice complementary perks. And we've played games before where one of us has had Leader, one of us has had Prove Thyself, and where we've worked together, we've been able to buff each other throughout. So it's, again, another really good perk for encouraging you to work together.
Yeah. The important thing to note, however, is that while Prove Thyself gives you the buff as well, Leader does not. Leader only buffs your teammates.
Yes, that's true.
But still, between them, they're a very effective package, if you like, that effectively gives you a buff aura for everything for your team.
Another thing that's interesting about Leader is the fact that while it doesn't have any bonus blood point offers, you have that effect persisting. So while it's maybe not necessarily as good for you, it's good for other survivors.
Yeah, definitely. It's balanced by the fact that you don't get additional blood points, but you can buff people even if you just pass within range of them. Yeah.
I find it really interesting that you chose this character as your kind of first main, particularly reading the backstory, because the backstory is basically the absolute opposite of you, but then looking at the perks, they're all very much like being the leader, taking charge, and making everyone work together, and that is such a you thing.
Oh, thanks. Honestly, when I initially first picked him, I didn't even read his backstory. I just thought of the initial 3 or 4 characters, he was the one that looked most like me.
Yeah, that's fair. Why do you think I'm a Nancy main?
That is a true story. Well, cut to, 3.5 years later since 1.0 came out, and there's now so many other survivors.
Yeah.
Just to round off that discussion about Dwight's signature perks, it's also worth noting that the figures we just gave you are for the perks at level 1, so as the perks are leveled up, as you buy them again for an increased blood points cost to get them up to maximum level 3, their buffs will increase. Okay, so here we have our loadout ready for Adept Dwight. Now I have Prestige 3 Dwight and he's only up to level 35, so while we look very good in our bloody outfit, we have only got level 1 Bond and level 1 Prove Thyself, with level 3 Leader. And a little example here about leveling up these perks. The Leader that we mentioned to you before on character information, has a 15% speed buff there. But if we go back to level 3 leader, you can see it goes up to 25, it goes up in increments of 5%, so while the range stays the same and the amount of time that the perk lingers stays the same, the speed buff increases as you level it up, so now we can buff people by 25% rather than simply 15. Of course, because we're doing Adept Dwight, we won't be taking a 4th perk because the challenge is to escape the trial using only Dwight's unique perks. We can, however, take add-ons and items. So I think we're going to bring a emergency medkit to try and increase our healing speed with a couple of basic add-ons. Unlock the self-healing action as well, so when we get hit we'll be able to patch ourselves up a little bit. And since we're trying to survive, I think we're going to bring a Crisp Leaf Amaranth offering to give us bonus blood points if we survive. Now let's go and jump into a lobby with MrsSuperHands and see if we can't get this achievement done.
Let's do it. I will invite you. Okay, and just for your information, I'm taking an Inner Strength, which is a Nancy perk. I'm taking an Alert, which is a Feng Min perk. Distortion is a Jeff Johansson perk. And Urban Evasion, which is a Nia perk. I won't go into detail about them because we'll do character spotlights on all of those characters. But just so you know what I'm doing. And I think I'll take in an Escape Cake as well for some points.
And a fancy looking toolbox, don't forget that.
Well, the toolbox is actually just a worn out tools, the brown common toolbox. But I am also taking the socket swivels to increase that repair speed.
Mm-hmm. And it's very important to note that you are not going to be bringing Prove Thyself or Leader.
That as well.
Okay, here we are. We've got a Meg, and Ashley, and Nancy, and me. Boo! Ah!
I was much more scared than you, clearly.
Clearly. My body is ready. Oh! I've just noticed that Meg is bringing in a key.
Oh, very interesting. I wonder if that would affect the killer's loadout.
I don't know.
It's not very clear, I suppose, on the killer's screen.
No, but as a killer you do look out for those things in the opening lobby. Now, for those of you that don't know, when you're sat in a lobby with survivors, this is your view, but when you're sat in a killer lobby, you can see all of the survivors, so you can see if they're bringing in items, you can see what, like, you get clues to their loadout. For example, this Meg has just switched on a toolbox now, so if I'm a killer, I'm thinking there's 2 toolboxes and a med kit. They're going to be smashing generators quickly, so I should perhaps think about bringing Franklin's Demise or something of that nature to knock those items out of their hands, or maybe something to help me regress generators like Ruin. Okay, Auto Haven Wreckers, the Wretched Shop.
Named by grandmother. Wretched Shop.
Wretched Shop. Oh, we're all here. Amazing.
Oh, wonderful.
Let's get on this generator and let me give you some juicy buffs. Take my Prove Thyself.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Another one to play with.
You can see how everyone's auras are highlighted, even behind trees and rocks and things.
It's a trapper.
So I see. Yeah, that's my bond activating with a range of about 20 meters. So useful for picking out where your allies are, being able to regroup with them and not lose your team as well. Trapper, if you could leave, that would be amazing.
He knows.
He's placing a trap underneath the pallet next to the Auto Haven Wreckers shop itself. Right, he's gone inside. Let's get back on this generator. And if I walk over to MrsSuperHands over here, I can buff not only her but myself as well.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Can
sorry.
you stop? Right, okay, let's leave. Come on, come with me. Let's get elsewhere. Can't see the killer.
I hear him.
Yes. There she is.
I don't know if you want to buff me anymore. Oh dear.
Okay, she's walked into a bear trap. That's
He's got her straight away.
Oh, he picked her up. Shit. Let's get on this generator. Smash it out as fast as we can.
No chili.
That's good. As you can see on the lower right of my screen, I'm being affected by the Prove Thyself buff as well as MrsSuperHands here.
Yeah, and it's definitely going up. My toolbox ran out already, but we're still seeing quite speedy repairs.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's get on here. She's been rescued. Awesome.
Excellent.
Keep your eyes on the ground for them cheeky bear traps. Ooh, a totem.
Oh, bugger. I forgot I had inner strength.
Oh, you have inner strength. Do you want to take it?
No, it's okay, do it.
Okay. I completely forgot.
It's not a perk I normally take in, so I completely forgot until you said, "Oh, look, a totem."
Okay.
And I've only really taken it in because it's my archives challenge is to cleanse 12 totems.
I see.
So I thought it may as well. Yeah. It will encourage me to use it.
Took something to combo
Oh
with that.
no! As it was grabbed, I think it grabbed over a pallet.
That's the second hook for Isaac as well, which is not ideal. You see, I can see a fellow survivor over there in the distance. I believe it's MrsSuperHands actually, but she's out of range of Bond because it's only 20 meters. If she comes a little bit closer, she'll be highlighted in yellow.
And you've only got level 1 Bond.
I have.
It's quite significantly further, isn't it, for levels 2 and 3?
Yes, I can't remember the exact figures, but the radius increases.
Let me see if I can go into this.
As you can see, because I'm working on this generator alone, there's no other survivors to proc the effect of Prove Thyself, so I'm not getting a buff, and the perk icon is greyed out, indicating that it's deactivated. Oh, my teammates! Right, we need to go in for this.
I'm going.
You're going for the basement save, yeah?
Yeah. But I get the feeling that he's probably gonna... Oh, there's 2! Shit. Can I walk through the middle? Yes! He's got 2 on the... Shit, he's coming down. Oh god. Getting a...
Yeah, he's gone down.
Yeah, I'm gonna run past him.
Nice. Don't go through the pallet, don't go through the pallet.
Okay. I didn't know where the pallet was and I almost ran through it in my shock. Oh no! Oh, Isaac, I'm sorry. See, she should have run up after me because it would have given her a chance to escape.
Yeah, because you took the hit, yeah. But never mind. All we can do is get away now. Would you like heals? No? Okay. Guess we'll start working on the generator. I know we've got a partially completed generator over to my left, but this one is in front of me, basically.
Whereabouts are you, love?
In the main building, your own shop. Killer's here.
If you made a triangle with the killer shack, the bus, and me, it would be a good triangle. I'm sorry, I'm bad at telling you where I am.
Killer Shack, bus, and you will be a good try.
Oh god, I wouldn't bother, I've just failed to switch it.
Oh my god. I'm gonna go for the other
Oh
shit.
no. Oh, he's been got straight away. Okay, I'll go back to the generator.
I'm going to the generator we were working on initially. The one near the totem. It's still fairly done, so just top it up.
Oh, nice.
Okie dokie. Killer's gonna come this way, I assume. Apparently not.
He's right near the survivor still.
Yeah, I can hear his beat. He's inside the Auto Haven shop thing.
Okay. I'm just dropping Jenny.
Oh, and
he's given up.
why would you?
Well, looks like it's just you and me, babe.
My whole kit is based around buffing other survivors. I can't buff you if you're dead. Right. Do this totem as well. Come on, 2 Jennies left. We can do that between us with Prove Thyself.
We can.
I believe.
I mean, we absolutely can. It's a matter of whether or not I can find you.
So that I'm working on a Jenny that's been kicked by the killer.
Okay. Disarm this trap.
I'm next to what looks like a garbage truck.
Yardsley! Run away!
You're being chased.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh no. I missed.
Oh yes, you're bringing him to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's alright. Hopefully he won't notice me.
Well, he's too busy chasing me, so I should head on. Thing with the trapper, it's very risky to jump through doors and windows. Not jump through doors. It's very risky to jump through windows in case you put down a trap. I think we've lost him.
Also risky to run through pallets as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, just escape a little bit more. I'm on about 70% of this generator now.
I will try and get myself somewhere that's...
He's over by the auto shop. He's inside the auto shop.
Okay. I am at the generator that's next to the bus.
Generator next to the bus. Roger that. I'm about to drop this one and that. Oh, I can see the lights of the bus in the distance actually. Right, let's go. Let's go.
He's coming this way, so I'm running.
Come to the killer shack-ish. Unless he sees you. Fuck.
I know.
Okay.
The music has foretold it.
Right, I'm going to go back onto the... Ooh. Disarm that, because that's a nasty little bear trap. Good.
Nice.
And I'll work on the Jenny that you were working on.
Okay, cool. I've run very far away and he seems to have stopped chasing me.
He might have come back because
Oh no,
I
he's just
disarmed
being
that
very
trap.
slow.
Okay.
No, he saw me. I thought I was being smart. I wasn't. Boo. Well, let's get one.
You've been hooked yet?
No. I'm actually very good. Sometimes. Huh? Why?
He seems unhappy with you.
Yeah, I don't understand why. What have I done?
He's like, no, no, no.
Fuck you.
Oh, he's going to camp, is he? Oh, no.
I think it's because I pallet slammed him. And also we have been on a chase for a little while. He's
Also-
coming back.
Is he?
Yeah. He's put down a trap.
So I see. I'm actually very close behind you.
I think he's probably going to get another trap for the other side of me.
Okay.
Oh no, he's gone into that building. Oh, he's coming back. With a trap.
Okay.
Gosh, somebody's displeased.
I'm sorry I couldn't get you.
It's not your fault, darling. It's him for being a... Look at him. Look at the number of traps he's doing. Go and find the hatch. Sod it. I don't care. I'd rather you survived against someone so toxic that he feels the need to put 3 bloody traps in front of me.
Don't walk into a trap.
Look, I'm not being funny. He obviously thought I was good enough that he needed 3 traps, so that's kind of nice. I think he knows where we are there.
Keep running.
Oh, there's a trap there in the doorway.
Okay.
So just. Oh, I've just found the hatch. So you know the window I just went out of?
Mm-hmm.
Hatch is there.
Is it? So it is. Let me
So
go.
just. Wait, he's coming. Go
Run,
ahead.
run. Took the hit, that's all I can do really at this stage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and try and drop the final generator by the school bus.
I like the way he's purposefully gone after me. Even though you were the one in the way.
Did you miss?
He did. He then managed to hit me, but he, oh, he's left me down. Stay where you are, though. He's left me down to come for you. I'm recovering, but... Nice. I'll try and sliver away. Is he coming back for me?
Slither to the hatch, quite close to the hatch.
He is standing... Well, no, he's standing near the hatch.
Is it?
He's picked me up. Just get out. Because he knows where the hatch is.
He's bringing you
He's
to a
coming this
hot
way.
right in front of me. I really hope he hasn't seen me.
No, he's gone back for the... He's gone back for the hatch.
Sorry, I couldn't save you.
It's alright. Hopefully you can get the door open while he's closing the hatch, because it's not going to open until I'm dead.
That's the plan. He saw it, he wants to deny me the hatch. Yeah, he's done it straight away. Look.
Alright, you can do this. Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed for you.
No, we've got time, he's not getting hit.
Yes! Please, please, please.
And that is Adept Dwight, ladies and gentlemen.
Nicely done.
Let's see how we did on that particular one. Maximum objective, obviously, because prove thyself. Decent amount of altruism and boldness. Bit of devotion. 24k blood points. And look at that, a double pip. Okay, so on balance then, what is a good playstyle for someone who wants to use Dwight's perks? I mean, he's heavily focused towards buffing his allies in an AoE, so you want to play Dwight if you're the kind of person who supports or is very heavily team oriented, particularly if you're in a survival with friends team, so you can communicate a little bit and be able to find your teammates easily to work with the rest of the team. The bad thing about Dwight, as was evidenced in that game that we just played, was if you're on your own, you don't have any Dwight specific kit that helps you survive solo. Now, I was quite lucky that the killer was occupied so long with MrsSuperHands, which enabled me to finish the generator, etc. But Dwight's specific kit is strongest when he's working with a team. Now, what could you add or change to make Dwight's perks work for you more? First of all, obviously, let's assume we've got higher levels of these perks. Now, Bond, even at maximum level, I think is only about 50 meters radius, whereas if you played Dwight's other buffing perks, Prove Thyself and Leader, with something like Empathy, which allowed you to detect other survivors almost globally, you'd be able to find them and heal them and work with them a lot better.
Yeah, I completely agree. I would say to swap out Bond for Empathy any day, because for Empathy, it's a 128 meter range at level 3. So again, that's a big chunk of the map. It isn't the whole map, but it is quite a large radius, and also because it's dying and injured allies, it's people that you know definitely need you. So if you go over with, say, Prove Thyself or with Leader, and you're with someone else too, you can buff them healing, and then you can all work together on a generator.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing that's really interesting with Dwight is the fact that you play Nancy quite a lot, and you haven't mentioned Better Together, which is a really strong Nancy perk that combos well with other team playing strategies.
That is very true. So Better Together, just for anyone who's interested, the aura of the generator you are currently repairing is revealed to all other survivors located within 32 metres. That's at level 3, so it will be less at level 1. So that works really nicely with Dwight's perks, because particularly Prove Thyself, because you know where the generators are, you know where the people are, you know where you can get those buffs. I generally don't play it on my Nancy just because I've got other preferred perks, but it's definitely one of those perks that would fit really nicely if that's the kind of play style that you have, that altruistic, wanting to work with others kind of play.
Yeah, definitely. So what other strengths does Dwight have that you can play to? Well, repairing, really. We've already mentioned that toolboxes stack with Prove Thyself, so if you're going to take in an item, you're going to want to bring in things like Commodious toolboxes or Engineers Mechanics toolboxes that can help you really maximize that generator progression speed. And a lot of killers will get very angry when that starts to happen, because if you run in, find some friends, smash out 2 generators in the first 2 minutes of the game, the pressure's really on them to get those hooks very quickly. Dwight is very much a character that plays into both the altruistic team player and the gen rush strategies.
Yeah, I would say that Dwight definitely prioritises your altruism and objective points over the boldness.
Yeah, totally. So we've already mentioned Bond versus Empathy. Now on this Dwight I'm only level 35, so I only have level 1 Bond, level 2 Empathy. However, Bond revealing allies within a 20 meter radius is all well and good. Empathy revealing dying or injured allies within 96 meters is huge. If you play both of them, then you're going to know where most of the team is most of the time. You could also play some sort of item that allows you to locate allies, like keys or other items that allow you to channel and locate survivors. But for now, we're going to swap out Bond with Empathy and see what a difference it makes using the same buffing perks from Dwight to the same playstyle. In addition to this, I'm also going to switch on Dark Sense, which, although only level 2, is going to reveal the killer's aura to me for 5 seconds when a generator is completed, and that's what we're trying to do, smash out those generators. Also, when the final generator is completed, we'll be able to see him for 7 seconds, so we'll be able to know which exit gate to run towards. And I think that combos really well with the idea of working with your teammates, smashing those generators out quickly. Then you can see where the killer is upon completion of the generator and go to the next best generator that's furthest from him, perhaps. That's also going to combo really well with knowing where allies in need are by using Empathy, which is going to show me injured and dying survivors within 96 meters. And we can buff everyone doing everything with my Dwight kit of Prove Thyself and Leader. Okay, so this time we're going to take an item that's going to synergize well with this playstyle, which is smashing generators as fast as possible. So we're going to bring a worn-out tools, because the Alex's toolbox is very much geared towards sabotage. And we're going to stick on some add-ons. So we'll bring a spring clamp to reduce the repair noise, so we can hopefully repair in peace, and a clean rag to increase the toolbox repair speed. Now this slight increase from the clean rag will stack with the moderate increase from the tools, which will stack with the increase from Prove Thyself, so hopefully we should be able to smash out those jennies quite quickly. In terms of an offering, I don't really have much to choose from, but I think I'm probably going to bring a Vigo Shroud to start as far away from the killer as possible, so that we can get some early generator progress. And we've got a floppy-eared Fang! Right, okay, ready.
Got a Fang Min, a Meg Thomas, a Dwight Fairfield, and a me, a Nancy Wheeler. And a killer.
If I'm a killer and I see this, I'm swapping on Franklin's demise, because 3 toolboxes and a flashlight, that's some items that need to be smacked out of survivors' hands immediately.
Again, wondering if they're a new killer, perhaps.
Maybe. I mean, if the community's growing and there's new people playing, that's brilliant, you know. It does mean there's a bit of an upsurge in people that don't really know the etiquette or, like, you know, necessarily...
That's it, isn't it? It's the etiquette of the game. It's, well, don't tunnel people because it's just, it makes it not fun for that one person. Don't camp because, A, it's stupid because everyone else can do stuff. And again, it makes it not fun for that survivor. It's just little things that, yes, okay, you might get a kill from it, but it's really not worth it. It's the same with survivors, not sandbagging, because that's mean.
Not bullying the killer.
Yeah. Not locking them in a corner. I hate it when you have a survivor who will just stand in front of you so you can't move.
Yeah, I hate that too.
Oh, look how quick this is going.
I know. 3 of us with my Prove Thyself plus 2 toolboxes. It's just... No, 3 toolboxes.
It's still going up really fast and I've finished with my toolbox.
Beautiful. Look how fast we smashed that out, and look how many bonus blood points. 2,960 bonus blood points on top of that.
Nice.
On top of the points I got from fixing the generator, which was like 1,200. It's disgusting. Disgustingly good perk.
I've just seen it to Hex.
Have you? Right, well I'm going to work on this Jenny, which is a 4-person Jenny, so we can get people on it. You grab the Hex.
I'm being buffed by your leader, which is good.
Of course.
I haven't seen any indication of who the killer is.
I can see where you are. You're miles away, and you're still getting.
It's literally only just gone.
Yeah.
I wonder what that was.
I don't know. We'll find out post game. It's a hag.
Oh yeah, I see her. Oh, she's coming for me. She saw me. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm just hiding for a minute. And even though she's miles away, I can see exactly where MrsSuperHands is because she's wounded. I can see that she's still in a chase.
She doesn't have the 3rd seal because she's hit me now. Which, oh no, oh, interesting. So where I went down, there was a, what do you call it?
Trap.
A trap. It was next to a dull totem, so either it was between 2 rocks, so it might have just been a convenient place, but I'm guessing that perhaps she's got no ed and wants to discourage us from cleansing dull totems.
Maybe she just thinks the survivor will say, ooh, a totem, lots of free blood points, because it's 1,500 boldness, isn't it?
It's 1,000 boldness for a dull one. Yeah. 1,500 for a hex. Oh, thanking you. Bunny Fang saved me.
Very nice.
I'm gonna go over here and just chillax. Hold my belly.
Hold your belly. Oh god! Leave me alone, hag. Yep. Don't get stuck on things like that's how we die.
Very good. Meg. Oh, thanks, Meg.
Oh, Bunny Fang with the save? Not quite. Nice try, Bunny Fang.
Oh.
She tried for the flashlight.
Meg failed a skill check on me. Interesting that she's put one at the bottom. I like that actually. That's clever. Well, I don't like that as a survivor, but as a killer, that's very smart. Putting it at the bottom because it's going to set it off at the bottom, and then by the time they save you, she'll be there.
True story.
Because sometimes you don't quite get the hit in time.
Okay, so I can see the killer through dark sense and the survivor that's being chased through empathy. That was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Run, Bunny Fang, run! I can see both of you miles away as well.
We are miles away. I'll try and get to you. I thought I'd try and come back and do that totem if I find it. Okay, I will come to you as soon as I've done this.
Okay, so the hag is coming back over here to place another trap in the same place. Now, ooh. for those of you that may not be aware, the hag's power is that she places these very hard to see runic traps on the floor, and if you walk or run within a certain radius of the trap, it will trigger to create a phantasm of the hag, which can be imbued with various different properties depending on what add-on you add. But also, the hag has the ability to teleport to one of those phantasms and take control of it, becoming that creature. So she can teleport around the map effectively if you trigger one of her traps. Thank you, MrsSuperHands. Let's get out of here.
Balance landing, yo.
Look at you speeding away.
Come on, come in this corner.
I shall. I can see someone in a chase on the other side.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I clicked it.
It's alright, it's alright.
Oh.
Yeah. I can see someone in a chase on the other side of the map. So.
Okay. I did press the button and it was like, no.
Sure. Blame it on the lag. It's fine.
I don't blame it on the lag, I blame it on it not accepting my button.
I'll always accept your button. Okay, where's the killer? She's miles away over there, but she is heading this way, so we want to go this way, towards the bus.
Okay. Handy dandy.
Ideally, we want to go around the edge of the map if at all possible, but to get to this survivor. But there is
You're going to go for that save?
I'm gonna try. Yeah, if you can find a Jenny, that'd be good. Ah, there's a Jenny here with me.
Okay.
If you keep following the map around. This was the one that I had mostly done before. Don't try and don't struggle, Triss. Don't struggle. Okay, Meg's going in for it. Okay. So we can work on this Jenny together, get a nice bit of prove thyself buff.
It really does make a huge difference.
Oh yeah. I can still see Triss because she's wounded. Come over here, pretty bang. You're floppy.
No, don't come over here. You...
Bravery, fix it. Let the killer focus on the thing.
Okay, I'm fixing. I'm sorry, that was a fear fail. Will she leave her down and
We've
come
still
for
got
us?
time, I can see her, we've still got
No.
time. Nice. Oh, and she de-striked out! Oh my goodness.
Okay.
This Feng is
You're going for that
strong.
door. Cool.
Okay, Feng's still being chased.
Okay.
So I'm going to go for this door over here.
Let's keep.
The eagle-eyed viewers among you will have noticed that Triss now has little entity spikes around her in the bottom left there. That indicates that she's become the obsession because she succeeded in decisive striking the killer and stabbing her to get off her shoulder. Killer is pissed! Exit gate is open. Oh, and as I open the exit gate, she goes down. For fuck's sake. Right, okay.
What's good about the obsession and the obsession spikes is when they're wiggling and moving around the survivor's name at the bottom. That means they're in a chase, so it's actually just really handy.
That's a bit more information for the survivors, isn't it? A med kit.
Ooh.
I'm going to need that. Okay, Jimothy is injured and is being chased away. Being chased into the exit. Right. Oh god!
Oh. Where are you? You're on there.
At the survivor.
Okay.
Fucking go, Fang. Fucking go.
Ooh,
Oh, she's gone for the flashlight save. Fang,
You
you're
are
so brave.
wild. I personally am having a bit of an issue. Well, not an issue. Let's see if I can fix it. Perfect. Oh no, I haven't. The door is.
We're gonna have to leave. Shit.
Huh? The door was making an opening sound. You know the sound it makes when it opens? It didn't stop. Like I moved out of the zone, the zone for it to be making the noise, and then came back and it was still going.
Look at that. Maximum objective points again. The maximum points you can get in any category is 8,000.
Nice.
And a lovely little pip. Wonderful.
Well done.